If you can't attend those meetings, find somebody that did, find out what the meeting was about. I'd like to, at this time, introduce Johnny Tacherra. He's running for 16th Congressional District.
Okay. I can talk pretty loud. I'm a farmer. My name is Johnny Tacherra. I'm running for the 16th District against Jim Costa. And I have some other opponents. And one of those things that differentiates me from my opponents is, one thing, I'm a farmer now and a dairyman now. We milk 1,200 cows. We farm 1,500 acres. We have 20,000 pomegranate trees we farm as well. We try to become more diversified. I thought I noticed a gentleman here. He has a CDI jacket on. Are you a dairyman? Yeah?
Retired.
Retired? You're a lucky one. And I know how it's hurting me right now in the farming and the dairy business. I ship to CDI as well, and we've been in the dairy business since 1955. And you think after being in business that long, it get better. And here we've been talking about Agenda 21 the last 20 years. I remember growing up with my parents, how easy it was to make a buck and to employ people. Now it gets harder and harder, and I'm getting tired of it. And I'm a family man. I got 4 kids, 3 girls, 15, 13, 6, and 2. I got my little boy. And my oldest one is leaving Monday on a choir tour back east. And I've been out working all day on the ranch, and I get back, and my son's got a big old goose egg on his head, wrestling with one of the girls, and hits his head. And my wife's like, out of all days, we got Easter coming up. And this is my lovely wife, Lisa. She's my high school sweetheart. This Saturday will be 17 years. So, on the way up here, every night I've been speaking at different engagements, and I told her, you know what, Saturday I really don't have nothing. I could be with Kenny Shepard from the Dairy Speedway, has endorsed me. And on April 21st, we're going to have a big event at one of the on his racetrack there in Madera. Supposed to be the Grand Marshal. My family's going to be out there. And I said, you know what, I don't have to go to the race on this Saturday. I said, let's go out to eat, let's spend some time together. Because I really love my wife. She means a lot to me. And she was getting things together for the trip for my daughter and came home. And I said, babe, I am really tired. I'm beat. She said, well, I'll go and I'll drive for you. So I really appreciate it. She's behind me 100%. My parents are behind me 100%. The deal is we know what we are facing on a day-to-day basis. And I've traveled around. I've been to Mexico, Guatemala, working with my local church, building orphanages and schools. And I see the effects of what a third world country and how dictatorship harms us. And I do not want to see that for my kids. And that is the way we're going right now. And I want to be that man. I am going to be that man. I stand up. Somebody asked me, so what's one of the things you're going to face when you get into Congress? You're going to be trying to be bought out. You're going to be told what to do. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not that kind of guy. In 2005, when I first started, I worked with a California Dairy Campaign, CDC. And we lobbied back in Washington, D.C. on dairy and farm policy, a lot of stuff in the Farm Bill. And my first trip back there, I had a Senator Hart, I was mention his name, pulled me to the side, opened up the suit jacket, and starts pulling checks out. He goes, this is how you get things done in Washington. And I was like, you know what, here you hear about the corruption. I'm actually seeing firsthand the corruption. And I said, and who is going to rise up and stand in there and make a difference to these guys? Tell them, hey, you know, I'm not one of these kind of guys that gets bought off. You know what, I'm sick and tired of this kind of stuff. And everybody's like, you know, you can't be so blunt. You can't. And I was like, you know what? I'm the kind of guy, when I'm done with my campaign, win or lose, and I come back on the ranch and the dairy, I will have my head high. Everybody will respect me more because I stood my ground. I'm not one of those kind of guys that you will see floundering around, floating in the wind to different winds of conversation, people telling you how you should vote and how you should act. And because I'm not that kind of guy. I was on Inga Bark's show a couple Mondays ago. And she goes, John, you know there's a certain congressman that's going to tell you how you got to live and how you got to vote and you know to stay with the party line. You know what's your stance with that? I was like, you know what? He's not the one getting me elected. He's not the one running my campaign. He's not the one that runs my line. And the other thing, I don't need a job. Jobs come from people like me and you. Jobs do not come from the government. It's people like myself that, you know what? I'm an entrepreneur. I have a welding business. I started in 2005 as well, where I do a lot of ag work, fabrication as well. I've been down to Watsonville, Lompoc, worked on hospitals. I try to diversify myself in everything to get my feet wet on, just in case I did run for public office someday, on every aspect of how government tentacles, bureaucracy, everything is involved in our business. We don't have a free market. It's constantly being bombarded by government regulation and high taxes, stuff that we can't afford on a day-to-day basis, stay in business. And I'm tired of that. And I have some more handouts. I don't know who else hasn't got a handout. I like to hand them. I have my back page tells about me where I grew up in rural. It's a little town over in Fresno County. Been there since 1955, third generation Portuguese. My parents immigrated here. Not my parents, but my grandparents immigrated here. Somebody in the back said, "You're Tacherra, you're Portuguese." I was like, "You don't spell it like everybody else." Well, there was 12 kids. And I'll just give a little brief history on this. They came through New York, through Ellis Island, and the 6 younger ones changed the spelling like the Americans would pronounce it. So that's that in a nutshell. So other than that, I don't know how many relatives I got. We've been down to D.C. and tried to look up who came through and everything else, but we kind of lost track there. Besides that, I had a bunch of lobbying I had to get done while I was down there. But I really appreciate your support. I got yard signs, I got more handouts, I got plenty of flyers. I will be down here on Saturday during the street fair. I have other people I'm supposed to be meeting. I'm one of those kind of guys that I'm busy working. I work during the day and campaign at night. So I really appreciate your support. That's why we've been kicking it off really hard just recently. And I've got the support. Everybody know Tim Donnelly. He's a big Tea Party guy. He's endorsed me. Shannon Grove's on my side. Connie Conway, David Valadeo. And the fact of the matter is, we are in desperate need. And I knew the right person has to jump in this race to make the difference and run against Jim Costa. Andy Videk has endorsed me as well. And me and my wife have made it a matter of prayer, like, we're Christian people. And the main person I answer to is God. And he's got to tell me what to do. And part of my core principle is constitutional purity and biblical values, and equal justice and free markets. Biblical values is the basis of what I am. You will know if it is not based off the Bible and the Constitution, by golly, Johnny is not going to be voting against those principles. And I really appreciate your time. If you have any questions, the mayor, he went off a lot of stuff. Put me down too. I'm against toll roads. Trust me.
How about the high-speed rail?
Totally against the high-speed rail.
Right.
And the smoke and mirrors. I was at a forum last night, and the question wasn't asked to us congressional candidates. It was asked to the supervisors about the high-speed rail. You know this new plan, the $30 billion that they knocked off.
Right.
It's actually more money per mile. Now it's $228 million per mile as compared to the $98 billion. It was $190 million per mile. And the original plan we voted for was only $40 million a mile for 800 miles with an electric train, which we don't even have now in this new plan. So
no train, no electricity.
Exactly. So I'm totally against the high-speed rail. I mean, I got buddies of mine that's going right through their dairies and farms, and it's not right. It's unconstitutional. So I totally agree. I'm against those things that destroy jobs in our economy and our way of life and the future of our kids. And anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
You said you were lobbying. What were you lobbying in Washington, D.C.?
Mainly with dairy. The CDC is dairymen working for dairymen. It's all dairymen that serve on the board. I'm on the board with them. I'm also on the board with the Oak Grove Veterans Memorial down in my area. I actually built the majority of almost all of it except for the marble, of that memorial. And so when we were back there, dairy is one of those complicated issues. I'm sure if you ever try to follow the milk price, it's too it's consolidated. It doesn't work. Nothing's based off of what our price is for producing that milk and our dairy products, and we don't see the cost of that. You guys are always seeing the higher cost in the milk in the market, but we ain't seeing no results of that. It's always being lost, and it's being stipulated through the CME. And we've always been pressing. Jim Costa's been one of those guys supposed to be in for dairy, and he's supposedly a dairyman. He has pictures of being on a dairy, and every time what really took me off this September 15th when I was down there, I was in his office. The Dairy Security Act is a bill that was being brought forth through the House. And we mentioned to him, hey, you know what? It's going to fail. There's programs in there, with insurance. How are the American people going to fund that? I said, well, making a self-funded bill through us dairymen, that way we'll be held accountable. I said, put us on base. I said, that way we're not flooding the market like we always like to do. I said, make us all work together. And he said, you know what, Johnny? He pops his feet up on his coffee table, goes like this with his hands. He said, I had my tail-in handed to me in the last election. He said, you go talk to Colin Peterson, which is the chairman of the Ag Committee. And I was like, you know what, you're my representative. I said, why would you treat me that way when we've supported you before? I mean, I didn't give him no money, nor did I vote for him, but I go down because it's supposed to be my voice. He was my congressman. So people are like, well, Johnny, you don't live in this district. Well, I'm chasing his tail over here because Andy Vidak had that guy against the ropes. And me and Andy Vidak know, Serafin Quincenari has also endorsed me. He's up against the ropes. I have so many dairymen that have swapped sides, that registered Democrats that are on my side endorse me. The day after it goes on my website, Jim Costa calls those dairymen up saying, what's the deal? Why are you endorsing Johnny? He's like, hey, he's always worked for us. He said, we didn't tell him who to run for, but he chose you. And he's like, well, where's all my support? I'm losing all my allies. And you're like, you know what's funny? He says, the day after Johnny posted on his website, you call us complaining. You read Johnny's website, but you don't even read the bills you pass. So that's what we have to deal with Jim Costa. He's a career politician. He's no good, and I am the man that will take him out. I know I can do it. I need your support. This is my first time running. About my 5th or 6th time public speaking. There's a gentleman here that was at the debate, and I butchered it. Boy, I did terrible. And but I've gotten a whole lot better. So you try to practice on a tractor, then sometimes don't work as well when you get in front of it. But did you have a question as well?
Well, I just actually I would like to wish you lots of luck, and I would like to tell you.
And prayer.
And prayer.
Prayer is a big deal.
And I would like to tell you a joke. Since you've been merciful, and you were welding and doing welding on the side, there's 2 men meeting in Moscow. I'm from Russia.
I heard you speak the other night at the Tea Party in Fresno.
Oh, good. So one says to another, I haven't seen you for 50 years, and I've heard that you are rich as a kid. He said, no, I'm richer than a kid. He said, how can you be richer as a kid? He said, because I do some welding on the side.
In 2005, when I started my welding business, my parents were like, you know what, you're better off doing that because you make more money doing that than dairy. So, but I do get up in the morning, I help my parents, breed and all that kind of stuff on the dairy and any kind of breakdowns. And I'm more the mechanical guy. In 2005, the way it branched off into a business is because I built a new barn. So I did almost all the work and it grew into a business for me. So, and I had the privilege of employing a lot of kids out of the private school that I attended and the local schools. And then when they decided to go to college, work with their schedules, we teach them trades. Welding, concrete, you name it. We've done it all, custom cabinets, JT Customs. That's one thing I really feel like God had probably prepared me for this. My wife's trying to tell me. Prepared me for this job is because you got to think outside the box. You're going to hear the same platitudes and everything else from everybody else. The main thing is when you read Johnny's literature, when you see Johnny's signs, when you hear Johnny speak, he's different. He's totally different. He's original. Plainly simple, but my wife hates it when we get a new car because I don't like keeping it simple. I like to customize it up right away so everybody knows who I am. Except those last cars, hey, this is a family car, do not do that. But the deal is, I know I can beat Costa. I need your support. And if you know of any events coming up where I can get out and get myself more well known, I was just pulling in the parking lot and just said hi to a guy, and he was a dairyman. Took me over across the street. There were some other dairyman farmers in there, and got their support. So there's nothing like farmers and dairymen arm in arm together, sticking together, because we know what it takes to. I mean, this is the richest part of Central Valley is agriculture. That's what makes this economy work. And I appreciate your time. Sorry to take up so much of your time. But I really appreciate it. And any more questions?
What is CDI and what is CDC?
Okay. CDC is California Dairy Campaign. It's an organization that represents dairies. CDI is California Dairies Inc., which is the plant right here in Las Banos, which processes all you guys know up here in this area. So CDI has a plant. My website is Johnny for Congress, but CDI is based in main office is in Fresno. Actually, Visalia now. Visalia, Fresno, Las Banos, Tipton, and Portland.
So farmers bring in their milk to here, this process here?
Yes, yes. This plant here is mainly cheese, as far as I know.
Contact information.
Yeah, all my contacts on here. Anybody need any more handouts? I think the main thing is you need to know somebody's got to have that knows Jim Costa really well and knows what his weaknesses are, and that is every time he opens his mouth. So he likes to talk the talk. He likes to say he's a blue dog. He likes to bring up a bill that the Republicans are pushing, bring it up on the floor that he's for it. Then when it comes to passage, he votes straight down the line with Nancy Pelosi. Yep. So he's done it over time and time again. The NFIB, National Federation of Independent Business, which I'm a part of. He's helping me out with all that kind of stuff, getting me all the lowdown on Jim Costa. I'm part of several other organizations. I am a strong Second Amendment guy. I'm a CCW holder. I believe in carrying my weapon, and try to get my wife to do it at the same time, and she's scared to death of it. She has no problem though with the kids having one. Any other questions? Not yet.
Supposed to ask for money.
That's what I was telling somebody. You know, I'm a business guy. So if I do work for you, I give you an invoice and expect payment. And somebody's like, well, now you're asking for a prepayment. So. Yes, sir.
I'm looking here at the map of your district. Is this a lot bigger district than what it used to be? I mean, how much of Costa's district is it?
How much of Costa's district is it?
Yeah, population, say, is it more, would you represent more people than in the 16th district and before?
Well, the districts are all the same as far as population-wise. That's how they're based. So it's roughly around 600,000 people in the district.
How many?
600,000.
Isn't this part of redistricting?
That's not voters. That's just population-wise.
Now, weren't the lines redrawn with redistricting?
Yes.
Okay, that might be what he's asking.
Yeah, everything's changed as far as the redistrict lines.
Well, the boundary lines are different than, say, from the last 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right.
These are all new now.
Do you have a Republican guy running against you in the
I have two. I have Brian Willing, the attorney, and Mark Garcia, farmer / bail bondsman, business guy. So.
Democrat running on the Republican.
And this is an open primary. So, so it's a whole new ball game all the way around. So, any other questions? Oh, you know what? I might as well ask a question. Anybody want to cut a check? That's the first time I ever said that one. It's cringing over there. But I have a fundraiser going on at Grizzly Stadium next Friday. Mike Rattley, I'm sure some of you have heard him on KMJ from Westside Fort Lincoln Mercury. He's one of the guest speakers. Also, Veterans Advocate Charlie Waters is the guest speaker as well. I got all their support. Mike Rattley, my dad called me today. I wasn't around the radio, and he called me and said, "Hey, you listen to KMJ?" I was like, "No." He said, "Well, Mike Rattley just did a radio ad for you." I was like, "Sweet." And then, I got the event on the 21st with NASCAR driver Kenny Shepard, who runs the Madera Speedway, and I think he told me too he runs the one over said. So I got all his support.
Is Jim Costa running against you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, then he's part of the district now.
Yes, he's part of
Jim Costa.
the deal. Is the party on the 13th. It's a party for Jim Costa. It's a retirement party. We had Dennis Cardoza that retired. Now we're going to retire Jim Costa. So I'll send them both to the horse races together, and they can snooze together, talking about how terrible they did in Congress and how they don't have a good name. So, any other questions? Besides, maybe some money. That would be nice. But we have signs. If you guys need some more signs, and we'll be here happily to ask any more questions.
Stick around for snacks.
I'll stick around for snacks. So, thank you so much. Thank you.
Johnny's also going to get us more flyers for the office, plus PR and Science is also going to get us some envelopes for donations. And he